doing.
Looks like we've got the levels. Cool.
We have things.
Hi guys, welcome back to the second episode of Conversations with Samantha. I'm your host, Joshua Hinkins, and today I have with me my current DM's lawful evil paladin.
Yep.
Would that be a fair estimate? Although,
kind of lawful evil.
kind of lawful evil by proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen James.
Hello.
Or Steve, by short, really. Yeah. So, basically, what I'd like to do today is talk to you about your experiences with Dungeons and Dragons, how those have potentially influenced your character choices, because Derber, who you're playing currently,
Yep.
isn't your only character at the minute.
No, I have 3.
You have 3. And so, yeah, I'd just like to sort of go through that and just talk about little bits and pieces. You down for that?
Yep.
Are we
lovely.
good for that? Cool. So, first question. Tell us about your character, Derber.
Derber to start with.
Yes.
He's my lawful good paladin. Technically my first proper character. I had one before him, who I played for about 2 sessions, who was the whitest of white bread human ranger. Like,
Was that before you realised Ranger was
yeah, it was trash.
terrible?
It was trash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Derber is my first proper boy. I've been playing him for, oh boy, nearly 2 years I think now.
Yeah, it's not far off.
It's been a long time since I started with him. He's really evolved into something very different from what I started with him.
From what I remember in the early sessions, he was very... I don't know whether this is me just recalling it wrong, but I remember him being very, like, forthright and this is what we must do, whereas now it's got a little bit more muddy,
Yeah.
potentially, I think.
The original sort of character I started with was very much like a religious fanatic,
Yeah.
but he's sort of very gradually morphed out of that into a weird, not so lawful evil character. I think he sort of switched to more of a chaotic neutral
Yeah.
than lawful evil.
So your character has basically gone on like this almost, I wouldn't say existential crisis with religion,
Yeah, no.
but it kind of has those sorts of undertones because it's
I mean, to the
certain
best of his
events-
knowledge, his god is dead.
yeah. I was going to
So-
say certain events within our campaign have led to your deity.
He's flirted with elder gods
Yeah,
as an entity, which I think would have been more of a thing if we'd have sort of spent more time at the higher level
yeah,
rather than going from like 15 to 20 quite quickly.
yeah. How did you get into Dungeons and Dragons?
I was like, I knew of it, and it had always sort of interested me for a long time, but I didn't know anyone that played it. Then I met Mark,
Yeah,
and it came up in conversation once that Mark played D&D, and I was like, oh, is there any way I could get in on that? And then I managed to get in on, Sam was running Vandalva.
oh yeah,
So I played like a couple of sessions of that, and then that party sort of just fell apart. It was a bunch of people. I think someone moved to Spain. Someone moved back to Nottingham, I think. So it sort of left us with like 3 people out of a party of 5.
I mean, let's be honest, distance should not affect it.
Shouldn't, but
Um,
it just sort of fizzled out, and then I sort of expressed more of an interest. Like, I would like to play more. I did enjoy the couple of sessions I had, and Mark was like, "Oh well, I might run Horde of the Dragon Queen." I was like, "Please do it. I will join the campaign. Get me in for that."
So, from the first episode, Mark mentioned that he had played 3rd edition and then he'd started doing more with this. And you hadn't played any previous editions?
5th edition is my first foray.
And obviously, you and I don't have the... We've not played previous editions, so we can't really compare to an extent, but is there anything within 5th edition that you I've noticed that you're like, that could be, tweaked a little bit, or anything that you're like, this is really cool. Are there any sort of like highs and lows within 5th edition that you've
I think
noticed?
5th edition is the most streamlined. I think everything works as it's supposed to.
Yeah.
In 5th edition, there is room for rules lawyering, but a lot of it is it's rules as written, or you rule cool it, you homebrew it yourself to make it into something else.
Yeah.
My only real gripe with 5th edition is some of the classes are so bad compared to some of the other ones.
Go on, name and shame. We're naming and shaming on this one.
Ranger was really, really bad
Yeah.
until Sword Coast and Xanathar's sort of kind of fixed it.
They
little
brought
bit.
it up to the
They sort of dragged it up kicking and screaming. But then you've got Barbarian that is just so much better than most classes. Barbarian is so good.
Yeah, I played 3-4 sessions, I think, maybe more actually.
Yeah.
As a totem barbarian, and that was genuinely a lot of fun.
They are so deadly,
especially
ridiculous.
Because I went barbarian rogue for Enki.
The amount of damage you can combo, you were hitting for 50, 60, 70 damage on a hit. You were out damaging spells like Fireball.
And it was more, for me, it was more a case of how much damage can I avoid than put out. That's what I was aiming for, was more of a, can I avoid a spell that would wreck Sebastian, the character.
I think you did a couple times.
Yeah.
There was where it's I'm going to make the saving throw. Oh, I get +3 from Derba's aura. Oh, I made the saving throw, so I'm taking half damage. Oh, I also have rogue shit that lets me take half damage again.
So I'm like, that cool. That's 5 points from, I don't know, whatever it was. It's more classes you'd say than anything that
there are
that
just
need
ones there's ones like the Artificer that I feel is missing.
That's one of the Unearthed Arcana ones, isn't it?
That's one they need to fix too. I like the idea of the Artificer, but the whole mechanical servant thing is kind of terrible. And there should
We're
be
looking at you, Ben.
Looking at you, Ben. I'm shaming you. There needs to be a specific path for Artificer that is about making a mechanical servant.
Yeah.
So that you exist mainly as maybe a support guy at the back, while your mechanical servant goes and does the fight for you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Heroes of the Storm Rexar kind of thing.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. You have, in our campaign, taken, when Mark's been away, you've taken the reins and done a few one-shots and whatnot. And last night we was talking, and you spoke about the potential that you prefer DMing over playing. What is it about DMing, Dungeon Master in the campaign, over playing that you potentially prefer?
I think it's the creative side. I get a lot of pleasure from creating a scenario, dropping the party in it, and then watching how they fuck it all up and go completely around the solution that I originally planned.
Yeah.
There's a lot of satisfaction in that, going, okay, here's a door, and then watching the party, rip the entire door off the hinges, set fire to the door, murder everyone inside the room, when all they had to do was knock the door.
Yeah.
To me, there's something really satisfying about watching that unfold. And the first one I ever did, I planned a massive amount of stuff.
That was with the
Cyric.
Was that the one with the sexy pint?
Yes, it was. When everyone got distracted by a sexy pint for about an hour of the session.
Oh,
when Sam decided to distract Mogar with a pint with very, very feminine legs with stockings on and looking rather sexy.
Honestly, that still makes me chuckle.
Everyone got so hung up on this sexy pint for ages. And then once they got undistracted by the sexy pint, it then turned into, let's poke the trapdoor that doesn't open.
Yeah.
Perpetually.
Yeah. Yeah, we got stuck in that tavern for a good
it was a long
hour
time.
and a half. It was a long time.
But that was a really good experience for me. It was my first session DMing, and it was okay, now I know essentially the first hour of a session is forfeit. Never plan for the first hour, because they'll get nothing done.
That's a fair assessment, yeah.
So you set them up with something to fuck around with, They'll get it out of the system. They'll burn out, and then they'll be like, okay, now we'll do the plot.
Okay,
now we'll go and Pokemon.
Let's go full Mulan. Let's get down to business right now. Have there been in our campaign for you any poignant moments for yourself, and then also for Derber?
Ooh. I mean, there's been a lot of incredible sort of character moments from our campaign. I mean, losing Kaldir was one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Like, that was the sudden, like, the slap around the face to remind us, hey, you can all die. Yeah. You're not immortal. All of you are very, very, very fallible, and you probably might die. And then, I mean, no one died for a while after that, but that's because we sort of switched into high healer mode for a long time. Just, if we keep healing, no one will die. We're fine. I mean, the second, well, third ambush, technically. Again, watching everyone die.
That honestly for me, because that was the first time. I think I said this in the previous episode as well. That was the first time that I felt that I had been hard countered.
Yeah.
Like throughout the whole time that I'd been playing, it wasn't. It was more like they'd attack me, but I wasn't their main priority.
Yeah.
Or a main priority.
I think that's also a part of Mark sort of evolving as a DM as well.
Yeah.
That we've sort of got to grow with him. He's grown as a DM, we've grown as players. And he's gone, wait, I can throw this nearly impossible fight at them because they can do it.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, I mean
we
where
did,
we are now
but...
at the minute. But yeah, it was... I also think that that final ambush that we had, for me, was a poignant moment, and for you as well.
It was the first time that, like, Derber and Mogar had ever been forced to run from a fight.
Yeah.
We would literally we'd fight to the end, and then it got to the point where 3 people were dead on the floor, and Reese was the one who was like, "Yeah, no, we're leaving. We're going now."
Yeah.
And then I had to burn my Undying Sentinel to not die. So I was on 1 hit point. So I was like, "Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. It's time to go. It's time to run. We'll come back for them." Because it was really close. Even Reese was nearly dead.
And Reese cannot die.
He's nearly impossible to kill.
Yeah, that was. So, what about for? So was that a poignant moment for you, or was that for Derber, or for both?
Bit of both, I think.
Were there any moments where you, as a player and a DM, have looked at how Mark has run things, or your other DMs who are running games?
Yeah.
Have there been points where you've seen what they're doing and been like, "Oh, that's really cool. I might, introduce that into what I'm going to do," or like, I can see how they want that to work. Maybe I can try and make something work similar to this, are there anything? Yeah. Have you found anything that you've seen?
I've stolen a lot of stuff from Mark. Like I will unashamedly say,
not literally from the house. Literally. That's where we are right now. We're in his house, but
as a DM, I've seen things Mark has done, sort of copied that vague style, and then sort of mildly tweaked it into my own thing.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Is there anything that sort of springs to mind when you think of that sort of thing? If not, that's fine.
I mean, just little things Mark will do for, like, describing the flow of combat, that sort of thing. Describing the layout of a room, little things like that.
Yeah.
Just, I've sort of picked that up.
Yeah.
From being on the opposite side of the table to him, because I think my first one, I copied Mark's style completely. Like
that's how you learn.
But that was the only real experience I'd had as a DM. I'd had Sam for 2 sessions, so I didn't really get to pick up much from him, and I was like desperately trying to pick up a character in a game I'd never played before. So
yeah.
But when I came to my first one, I'd been playing with Mark for like 6-ish months, something like that. So I very much picked up his style of DMing.
Allegedly Randall.
Allegedly Randall.
So my character in that campaign is called Samantha, which is where this podcast name comes from. My character doesn't know. Well, in fact, none of the characters.
No one knows my character's real name.
None of the characters know your rogue bard now.
Yep.
His real name or anything
He's
really pertaining to
he's an
his
enigma.
past. So what chose you? What made you decide to do
I mean, I was
something
looking.
so elusive as Randall,
Yeah.
as I know him?
It was. I kind of wanted to do something very different to Durba. Like I tried a wizard in a different campaign and hated it. Absolutely hated it. Didn't like being a wizard at all. Just I didn't click with like a proper spellcaster. My instinct is to be in the fight. So it was like, what can I do that's really different to Paladin?
Yeah.
While still being a martial type class. And it was like, okay, rogue. I'll start with a rogue. Lovely. And I sort of rolled up the stats. Hadn't really picked anything about it as of yet. And then sort of was flicking through the backgrounds just to help build the character. It was like, charlatan. That seems really cool. Like with a whole, secret identity, like a second identity set up.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I'm going to... So this character developed into a rogue. It was originally going to be a mastermind rogue. Which was like, he never got his own hands dirty.
Okay.
He was the kind of guy that would persuade someone bigger and stronger to do the fight for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd off them after the fight. Go back and be like, oh no, they died. I'm so sorry. I'll have the gold, thank you. And his gold, thank you. And then leave. And I sort of developed that, and the backstory turned into, he persuaded a knight to help him go kill something somewhere. He left this knight to die, went back to the village, and was like, he died. And then during the celebration of his life, he kicked the door and was like, what the fuck did you just do? The entire village is like, whoa, he told us you were dead. And Randall is like, it's time to leave. And then that's where he sort of stole the identity of my original character, actually. Randall Dunwood was the name of my very first character.
Okay.
So I was like, you're going to use that name as his second identity. His real name is actually Pietro Walder.
Oh.
But no one has ever found that out yet.
Well, no one's asked and no one's found out.
Well, no one's had any reason to doubt
Yeah.
that his name isn't Randall.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried to use a couple of different names before, but I don't think anyone in the party's really twigged. I mean, everyone at the table knows, and like Arva especially hates that she knows, and she can't call me out for it.
That's one of my favourite things about Tuesday, is that we all do know that your character's name isn't Randall, but because it's us, the players, knowing, we cannot. I mean, or we're not really supposed to, because it kind of takes away from the game. We can't be like,
the check
you're
to
not Randall.
The check to work it out now would be vile, because I have proficiency in deception.
Yeah.
With expertise.
Oh, gross.
With the actor feat, I have advantage on any check to pass myself off as someone other than myself.
Gross.
So you're looking at like a plus 12 to the roll with advantage. Like,
we'd have to roll insight on that,
wouldn't
it? Bear with me. Insight. No, God, no.
Like the dice roll required to beat me would be ridiculous at this point. Yeah. Functionally, I'd need to roll lower than like what, a 8?
Yeah,
to give people
down.
A chance of doing it, and even then, I have advantage on the roll. So
gross.
It'd be disgusting to try and see through it.
What differences between the Paladin and like rogue bard? You're going bard now, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm like 6'6".
What is it about each class that you enjoy doing?
I think I'm kind of drawn towards the semi-caster. I like the I can hit something really hard option, or I can cast a spell at the same time kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I like the versatility. I also seem to be drawn towards having healing options as a hitty person.
That's fair.
Which again, I quite like.
You like the versatility of the like half casters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't necessarily get like the hitting capabilities of barbarian, but they are still able to hit hard.
Yeah.
And
it's also one of those ones
wizards
that,
and spellcasters.
like when I started with Randall, there was a few encounters because we were very, very caster heavy. Like there was, like,
we were.
The closest thing to a tank was you, and that was because you had a staff of defense.
Yep.
And like I was the only like proper melee class,
Yeah.
and there was a few occasions early on where we'd face something that was resistant, if not immune, to non-magical damage, and it locked me out of like I think there was like 2 fights early on where it was I couldn't hurt it. I was wailing away at it, doing nothing. Like as a player, I knew I was doing nothing, but as a character, I would keep hitting it. I had no clue I wasn't doing anything. So, sort of the dipping into Bard was like, okay, now I at least have an offensive spell that I can use if all else fails.
You have something to use other than just melee in case.
And like as a paladin, you get things like smites. So even if your basic melee weapon isn't magical, you can hit them with 2d8 radiant damage. So at least you do something.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too. Yeah. So Thursdays we all really technically started out as
fundamentally it was Sam. Sam was the only experienced player at the table.
Yeah.
Like I was brand new. Reet was brand new.
Pete was brand new.
Pete was brand new. You were brand new. And originally we had Paulina and Jude brand new.
Yeah.
So it was just Sam was the experienced player at the table.
Oofed.
And Sam was pretty good about not giving us any meta knowledge. He played it like he was as new as we were.
Yeah. Ah, cool. And then obviously we've gone from
Still going.
Yeah. Even though we've done this campaign for sort of like just over a year.
Which one, Tuesdays or? Because Thursdays
we're
on
done
about a year and a half ish, slightly more.
So in all, we've played about 2 years
ish. Yeah, like we're still
with
all things considered, we're still relatively new to the game.
Yeah, but in comparison to who we are playing with, we have gone from that new player to the slightly more experienced.
Yeah, we're the experienced players at the table now.
And I don't know how do you deal with not sort of meta knowledge in certain things with newer players? Because how I deal with it is I usually tend to play Kenku and then I don't get to speak and it makes it super easy because I've got a big mouth and I know full well I'd say something. But obviously for yourself it's not as easy as just going, I'm going to be a Kenku this time.
Yeah. I think it's one of those, because I dabbled in DMing before we started this campaign. I'd already I'd been talking to Mark a lot about how I'd run my sessions anyway, and there was a lot of back and forth between us two about here's what I was planning on doing. If you want to try and set that up for me in your one shot, do it. So I'd do it. Like, do you remember the Yugoloth that I had you fight?
Yeah, yes.
The wizard that turned invisible. That was literally a setup for those things that ambushed us. It was Yugoloths. That was
cool.
Like, I had you meet the cult trying to summon Yugoloths through, and then when they ambushed us, they'd got Yugoloths because they'd learned how to do it. And that was something I sort of low key set up for Mark way in the past.
Very cool. Yeah, thinking about it, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I was playing a halfling ranger.
Yeah, you were.
Which was, I will say, that was very fun.
Yeah. But because I'd already got that sort of thing with Mark, where we'll bounce ideas off each other for our own stuff. Like, I probably know a bit more about Thursdays than I should have known as a player.
Yeah.
But I've never used that knowledge myself while playing.
That's
so
fair.
it made it kind of easy to, as the slightly more experienced player at the table for the new campaign, it was like, people like Arva would be like, oh, do you know what it is? I'm like, yeah. What is it?
Yeah, that's the point, yeah.
I'm not telling you.
Yeah, no.
I know what it is, and I know what we can and can't do to it, but Randall don't know that, so he's going to hit it.
Yeah.
And you can just cast a spell at it, because I ain't going to tell you.
Yeah, cool.
But it's very jarring going from I don't really know the rules to being the person everyone at the table sort of looks at to clarify a rule.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know the rules that well myself. I'm not that much more experienced than you are. But by proxy, I'm
you are rule man.
Yeah, I'm rule man. I'm head of the table.
I I get that with like spells and things,
Yeah.
because me and Sam are both very spell heavy with our characters.
Yeah.
And Al as well. He does a lot of spells, but obviously his warlock spells are. He gets 2 of them.
He doesn't get many, does he?
And then Eldritch Blast everything in the
Eldritch
face.
Blast everything.
So for when me and Sam do anything, if there's you know we try. Well, I feel like I'm putting words in his mouth here, but I know for me, I try and learn not just my spells, but a lot of other spells that
As
I know
many spells as you can remember, yeah.
Even if it's not like the damage tab, if it's just like what dice you need,
Yeah.
I try and do that, especially with healing spells as well.
Yeah.
That's
Those are important to get right as well.
Yeah, yeah, very very important.
So I tend to know more about the more martial classes. I tend to be a bit better with like AC, weapons, things like that. And I know quite a bit about paladins now.
Yeah.
So like on a Tuesday we've got Matt, who's really new as a paladin. I've sort of turned into the
Like,
de
do
facto
this
player. Just
Do this.
Do the smite. Please do the smite.
Don't bless people, heal them, please.
Please don't
Please
give
heal.
people an extra D4 to do something with. Please heal someone. Usually lay on hands.
Yeah, I really, honestly, like Tuesday, I really need him to lay on hands me because I have 5 health left. Like, Pete hit me with that dragon 3 times and I nearly went down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, I think the problem Matt's had is that he's looked up a paladin, and I think he's found the Pathfinder paladin that does something completely like lay on hands Pathfinder. Their equivalent is nothing like lay on hands. It's like a once or twice per day thing that does a sort of burst heal. It's not like a pool of healing points.
Yeah. Oof.
So
Oof.
he was looking at it and like, this isn't really that useful. Why would I ever use this? And then just sort of had to. I haven't really had a chance because I've been sort of late to a lot of the sessions.
Yeah.
That I haven't really had the chance to go through a full session with him and go, look, do that, do that, do that. But I don't want to sort of play his character for him.
Yeah, or even just be like, these are some options you can do.
Yeah. I mean, I helped him make his character, and I did sort of try and set him up in the broadest way possible, that there was a lot of scope for him to take it as he wanted.
Yeah, for definite.
But I think he did decide on a really, probably the most complicated subclass in Oath of Redemption, which is not an easy one to play.
Like,
And
I've not, because obviously once we've been playing, when Matt's been here, for the majority of it, I've been back home.
Yeah, you've been on Discord.
Yeah, back home, and I've been thinking him through Discord, so I've not really seen what his character can do. I know it's got like a rebuke thing, which seems to do a lot of damage.
He gets things like whole person and stuff like that as part of his oath.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of redemption is you don't fight people. You stop them fighting you.
Yeah.
But it's a really complicated one to learn, because the way it's written in the book, you shouldn't ever kill people. Ever. With Oath of Redemption. But then it's hard to maintain that in a party of, you know, a rogue, a warlock,
A barbarian,
a circle of spores druid.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Like the ultimate chaotic neutral kill everything party. It's quite hard to be the Oath of Redemption lawful good paladin in that group.
And I think what makes it even more difficult for him is that it is his first character.
Yeah.
And it is a complex class to play, so it's not like
Yeah, it's not an easy step in.
No, it's not at all.
But I think he's done an okay job
Oh,
of
for definite.
getting himself in. Like, he's not really stumbled at all.
No,
while playing.
He's kind of hit the ground. Well, he has. He's very much hit the ground running because we are in the middle of.
Yeah, we're a very established party. We were like level 10 when he joined us, so
he had to learn 1 through to 10
very, very quickly. And he's not doing badly.
No,
But I think he's a little bit out of his depth,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things that we can sort of gradually get him up to where everyone else is.
For definite.
He's no worse than everyone else at the table was when we first started.
Oh, hands down. I mean, like
Arva, Paulina, Jess were all extremely new to the game. Like Paulina had technically played in the Thursday's campaign,
yeah.
but she didn't get that far. I think she got like 1, 2, 3 level ups maybe. I think Arva said she's played.
I think she's
like
played
third
third
edition?
edition. Yeah.
Which is a world of difference.
Yeah.
And obviously Jess is completely new to the game. I think she's only playing it through me, so.
I will say though, I do think Jess has picked it up very
Yes.
quick.
Yes, she has.
Me and her, because obviously we both Discord in because she's over in America,
Yep.
and I'm on the east coast of England, and we're Discording in, and we'll be chatting about certain spells that she's got, and she's asking questions whether or not do you potentially think this could be the big bad, or she's very much got that mindset of, okay, we need to potentially conserve these spells for things that might be coming in later. She's definitely got the right mindset for spell casting.
Yep. She's very inquisitive as well. She wants to know more about the game all the time.
Yeah. And
which is really good to have in a player.
It is. It's really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah.
And she sort of rolled up with her character of, I'm going to stay at the back forever.
Honest
She's
to God,
living
that
the
just
gimmick.
literally makes me chuckle every time. She's like, am I at the back? We start combat, and it's like, am I at the back? Am I at the back of the party?
If I'm not at the back of the party,
Put me
why
at
am
the
I not at the back of the party? Stop the combat, put me at the back right now.
Guys, we need to reposition. I need to be at the back. But yeah,
It's because of like one fight, again, I think it was at an Etin that we fought, and she ended up as the person at the front of the group, and she got battered for about 5 minutes. And after that she was like, no, I'm never going near the front ever again.
No.
I will stay at the back of the group and you'll all be happy about it.
Oh dear. But yeah, that's. I don't know. I think this party that we've got on the Tuesday, I really do enjoy playing this party.
It's a lot of fun.
Just because of how different everyone is.
I've got to say, the times I've DM'd for this party, they're fucking amazing. I absolutely love DMing for this party on a Tuesday. It's so good.
It's just because of, like I say, how completely different we all are. We've got Arva, who was a half-elf druid,
She was
right?
a half-elf druid, yeah.
And she's now playing a gnome barbarian, which in itself just makes me chuckle. Paulina is playing I nearly said trifling. It's not trifling, it's tiefling. A tiefling druid.
And wizard.
And wizard.
Taking a level in wizard. Taking a couple now, yeah. She's going necromancer. She's dipping into necromancer.
See, I didn't know this. I didn't know that she'd taken a few
She's doing it very, very quietly.
Yeah. I'm liking this. I like where this is going to go. Matt with his Paladin.
Yeah.
Yourself with your rogue bard, and then Samantha, that's just a mess.
Yep. And then we've got our evocation wizard in Jess.
Yes. Yeah. It is super spell heavy.
It's very, very spell heavy. Like we've got, technically now we do have a tank in Matt.
Yeah, and Arva's Arva's new
barbarian
one.
can also take a lot of hits.
But yeah, so going from this sort of spell heavy campaign that we are both in, the next campaign that we're both in, you are
I'm going to be the man
you
behind
are
the screen.
going to be the dungeon master of that campaign, and from what I've heard, it's going to be a martial heavy campaign.
Incredibly martial heavy. As in, I don't think we have a spellcaster in the party. I think it's exclusively fighty boys.
That's fine. We can do this. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
So, how have you prepared for this new campaign? Because obviously, this week is potentially our last session as Derber, Sebastian, Mogar, Jarian, Al, all of that. How have you prepared in the run-up to your campaign? How have you made sure that you've got not all of what you want ready, but the majority of things sort of ready and set to go.
I mean, I've been planning this for months now. Like, I've still got original maps I drew for this from like last year when I started. Like, after I did my first one shot, I sort of came up with the idea in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Started drawing stuff, writing stuff down. I sort of eased off a little bit, sort of the start of this year, because it was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anytime soon. I'm not going to put the time in when I can plan like one shots instead that I can use. So I'd got like little bits planned, but then over the past probably 3-ish months,
Yeah.
like I've got an entire city mapped. I've done a lot of research on the sort of surrounding area where I'm plonking my city. Like, I've got, you know, the Pirate Isles, Cormyr, there's the Gulthmith Forest, there's the mountain range. Actually, there's the Deepwing Mountains that Durba's from. It's actually not that far. I didn't realise it at the time, but it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm. Some cross.
Yeah, just accidentally nipped that in there. No one will ever know.
Oh, very cool, very cool. There was something about it that I was just going to ask, and it's literally just left my mind. I can't think what I was going to say now. I literally had a question, and it's just gone.
It's gone. It's left you.
Never mind.
But I've got my first session is like planned, roughly.
Yeah.
But I'm setting it up where I'm gonna give you all the free reign to go where you want, do what you want. I don't want to, like, there is going to be a storyline there.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be, you must follow the plot. I don't want it to be like, you know, say like Prince of the Apocalypse, where there is a plot,
and
it's
like
a dungeon run, do the plot or the world ends.
Yeah.
I don't want that sort of campaign. I want here's a city, you're free to explore it, stuff will be happening in front of you and behind the scenes. You could stumble into anything that's happening anywhere, and that could turn into a plot line, or it could just be in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, 5 levels later, all of a sudden, there's a threat that's arrived because, you know,
maybe something else.
Someone was summoning something in the background. There was the clues there for you to find it. You didn't, but whatever. You were busy dealing with something else. Fine. I want that sort of that freedom, that free form.
Yeah.
A bit like how like Curse of Strahd is, where it's very much there's a big open map.
Yeah, it's a more of a sandbox campaign than it is like a linear plot that you must follow all the way through.
Yeah.
You can diverge off, but if you come back to the main. Cool, I like that. That'd be very cool. Well, I think we've spoken quite a lot about that.
Quite a good chunk of time there.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on
No
Conversations with Samantha. Well, we have a charity stream.
We do indeed.
On
1st of December.
1st of December, twitch.tv/Snapjaw's Jazz Lounge.
That's the one.
24-hour stream, all in the name of Macmillan Cancer Research.
Yep.
Go check it out. The link will be in the description of this. It'll be on all of the social media, which is also something to plug.
Yep.
Conversations with Samantha have an Instagram and a Twitter page. Go check those out. They'll be in the descriptions as well, but it's conversations_with_Samantha on everything. So, yeah. Thank you very much. Put my teeth in. Thank you very much for joining us today, Steve.
No worries.
I've actually had a really good time. That's been a really cool episode to do.
That was good.
Bye!
Bye-bye.